Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Tang game. This is Tang Week with me, Buddha, and this is the third game we are casting of VP Tang. This time he is going to be playing a Protoss player Strategy. I don't know Strategy, actually, so I have no idea of how good this is, although this replay did have a special little star next to him, so I do expect this game to be great. And a Strategy, if he is playing Tang, he has to be at least very high masters, so 1, 2, or 3, or Grandmaster. I don't know, I didn't actually take the time to look him up on SC2ranks.com. I should have. Anyways, if this is your first game tuning in this week from Tang Week, Tang is a very crazy, aggressive Zerg player. And we have seen him just roach bust some Terrans off the wall. It is actually crazy. He has been playing so much StarCraft lately. He is at least a semi-pro, if not professional, because he has a very successful coaching site and makes a lot of money off of that. And he is a great coach, at least for coaching his crazy aggressive Zerg style and how to make it work and how the timings works, how everything works, because he is definitely the only person I know that is this crazy aggressive. We actually see sometimes July being, you see him being very aggressive, but it is nothing like Tang's aggressiveness. It is so completely different from everyone else. It is actually very fun to watch, and I really wish I could see this in a tournament play. Unfortunately, Tang did not play any huge tournaments right now. He is just local, sticking to his studies right now and making that coaching site work, but hopefully we will see him at the last MLG, because I will be there and I hope to see Tang there. If I will ask him later. Anyways, later, after this game, I think that we are going to dual cast me and Tang just to get some tutorials going, get Tang's input on these crazy aggressive builds, what he could have done better, what he thinks about the timings, about everything. And meanwhile, the Protoss player is actually going for a double gateway, gonna throw down a Nexus behind this, I think eventually, because of the positioning of these gateways, obviously. But for now, he is spending all his money actually chrono boosting these zealots. That is going to be quite a surprise by Tang, but he does see this. He did go for pool gas first, so he is going to be able to actually produce enough lings, or at least a spine crawlers, to help defend against this. He is producing a baneling nest instead, and I wonder what this choice is. I will have to actually asking about this later on, because you see a whole bunch of zealots and you produce banelings. I mean, banelings are fairly decent against zealots, but when there are a lot of them and when they are very clumped up, 3 zealots are going to take actually a lot of baneling hits before they die. Now, there are a lot of lings on the field, but that is not going to be enough to kill 5 zealots. They will have to get a great surround, but more are on the way, so that is actually going to thwart this back. The zealots are going to have to run home, and if they're not careful, they will get surrounding by this massive amount of lings. And I think the baneling nest is actually going to just beat to bust behind this, because you saw he actually canceled his natural expansion. Does the Protoss player know about this? He does know about this. He did see that there was nothing there. Now these lings are going to kill off the remaining zealots. The complete wall off by Strategy, and 2 more cannons in the back. But this is a very vulnerable cannon right now, pylon, sorry, and it's going to go down so fast. The banelings, he really has to reinforce this before the banelings are done, because these banelings are just going to one-shot this cannon, this pylon, sorry, and there they go. They are just going to right-click on it, bust through here, and the lings are free inside the main base. I don't know if he should go for the cannons. He should just run by and go for the probes right now. He is morphing 2 banelings, 3 banelings, a few more banelings. Sorry, my mouse is just going crazy right now. He is morphing a couple of banelings. This is not very subtle at the moment, though. A few probes gonna make their way over here. These banelings are gonna die to the zealots if he's not careful. This baneling could actually kill off 5 probes right now. The probes walking off the mineral line. A lot of probe kills right now. That is 9 probe kills, killing off the zealot as well. that was actually pretty good by Tang, but it is still 2 bases against only 1, so that is 20 harvesters against only 14, and I don't know if that was enough damage. I mean, these banelings could have done so much damage, but with all these lings running inside the main base and hiding behind this, just the time that the banelings take the morph, it does give Strategy time to actually prepare, because he knows that banelings are going to morph and try to hit his mineral lines. Gives him time to actually split off his probes, and he managed that very well. Not perfectly, but very well. This forge actually took a lot of damage. I wonder how. I think it was just from the baneling hits from the pylon right next to it. Meanwhile, Tang, what is he producing right now? He is producing 10 more lings, so he is not gonna go for a macro game. He is just gonna push this down the Protoss's throat, and look at this, it's still a pylon wall off, and if he's not careful, if he does not reinforce this, I mean, Tang is just going to be able to bust through this, but Tang is not in a good position right now. Sorry, my Skype is going crazy because I have a CSL game later on. These banelings are not in front. The lings actually make their way inside the main base. This forge is so close to dying. Maybe he should actually pick this off, prevent any more cannons, but the lings are inside the main base. Nice baneling hit going down on the probes. How many probe kills is that? That is 17 probes killed. The probes actually turning around to fight. This is not the correct decision right now because they are all gonna die. On hold, putting them on hold position, that is amazing. The Zealots actually taking down so many lings, and that was a great move actually by Strategy, putting them on hold position while the Zealots took care of the lings. One ling is going to try and run back here and hide for his life, and he really minimized the amount of workers that he lost. If you look at the worker tab, it is still 25 harvesters against just 15 for Tang, and there are more lings running across the map, and really this is so intense. He is so relentless with this attack. Yeah, I really have to question it right now, like how much balls you have. No clue how those got in. How much balls do you actually have to keep shoving lings down your Protoss opponent's throat? And this forge is actually so low on health. This might be his downfall. I think Tang is actually going to try and target this forge instead of the pylons this time, just because it has so little health. You can see that the pylon has a 400 health total, and the forge actually has only just over 300. The banelings are actually going to focus down all 3 pylons on forge, and more lings streaming inside the main base. Once again, these probes are going to die, but how much damage can Tang do? The Protoss player still has 30 harvesters against only 14 for Tang, and I don't know how much damage this is gonna do. Nice hold position micro on those probes against the Zealot. Tang will have to target these probes one by one if he wants to kill them off. It is now 30 harvesters killed by Tang against 0 from his opponent, and really now just starting his wall off once again, and there it is, the hold position micro once again. A huge battle right now. More sentries making their way inside the fray, and the sentries are barely gonna be enough to hold this one off. One sentry going down. Nice force fields preventing the surround on all these units, and this is still so intense. It is now 24 to 22 harvesters, and Tang has started producing drones once again, so he finally decides that he did enough damage. And really, that last bust was so fortunate that forge had very low health, and once again we see the relentlessness of Tang. He is now producing drones. He is just gonna chill back here. He has done so much damage. I wonder what the units resources lost is actually pretty close right now. I'm surprised. I really thought that Tang threw away more units than his opponent, but it is 3,900 against 3712, and now this is looking to be more of a normal game from now on, so I can take a small break and drink some delicious water after all that yelling. Meanwhile, Tang actually has his third base as well already up, so he is going to be able to produce so many drones off of this. He still has only one gas right now, so he is just going to drone up like a madman. He knows that he did so much damage that the Protoss player can actually just stay inside his base and do nothing else. The Protoss player is actually... Strategy is researching Blink right now that will enable him to maneuver across the map a bit better, and Tang will need eventually infestors against this. One Spore Crawler going up in the middle of the front of the second base for Tang. I love this decision because after doing all that damage, Protoss will actually tend towards DTs or Void Rays, and if you really don't know, a Spore Crawler will be good in both cases, but unfortunately it is going to be Blink, and that is not going to do much against... I mean, the Spore Crawler won't be useful against Blink, but that is the only thing it won't be useful against. So really, just a precaution here by Tang. If you can't scout, you have to prepare against everything. You can't just gamble and say, oh, I hope he does not go for Void Rays and not get this Spore Crawler. You absolutely need to get it. Meanwhile, the third base is actually starting to get saturated. We have 47 to 49 harvesters, so Tang only 2 harvesters ahead. But with that larva spawn just now finishing, he is going to produce roaches. I really thought he was going to produce another round of drones, but he is making me eat my words and producing 9 roaches just to defend, and this is actually going to be... This is great timing because I do think that Stratigy just now is going to start warping in more stuff to start attacking. There you go, 2 more Stalkers. Now he's going to move out, and Tang are really showing that he knows his timings. He knows that right now is when the Protoss player is going to start having an army and being able to attack. And let me catch my breath. +1 is almost done by Tang. He is also researching Glial Restitution, that roach speed upgrade that is going to be so useful against Blink Stalkers. He does see this Stalker Zealots force moving out. Strategy did not reveal Blink just yet, but with this amount of Stalkers, I mean, it's kind of an easy guess that he has Blink, so Tang will start preparing against that. He is going to need a lot of roaches because Blink Stalkers can actually micro quite well against roaches, but not indefinitely. So if you have an overwhelming force of roaches, Blink is not going to do that much. But if you have an even army, the Blink army will hands down win just because of that Blink micro blinking the injured units back before they die. And really, I should set myself to busy. Sorry, here it is, and let's keep going. Meanwhile, Tang is actually going to destroy these rocks to gear up for his 4th base. He is getting the Infestation Pit, and this is actually going to be very, very, very useful against Blink. He is going to be able to fungal these down and just surround with the no lings that he has, but at least surround with the roaches or prevent the Blink Stalkers from blinking back when there is an engagement. Tang is now supply blocked because he's losing more and more Overlord. I do think that actually Strategy is going to try and blink inside the main base with this Observer. The Observer now getting vision of the high ground. These Stalkers are very, very well ready to just blink up here. There they go. And now there is just a huge swell of Stalkers inside Tang's main base, and that is not what you want to see. These roaches have speed, so they will be able to come back here. And actually, I love this engagement by Tang, cutting off the retreat route from his opponent's strategy, and that is actually great. He will be able to clean this up. I mean, the Blink Micro, the Stalkers are kind of cornered right now, so this Blink Micro is really not going to do much, and now he just runs away, not doing the damage he should, and that was a great engagement by Tang, being able to just cut off the retreat path. That is great, very smart play by Tang, and now he is 167 to 91 supply. And you can see that Tang actually came out way ahead in this game. 42 Harvesters killed by Tang. Did he not kill a single Harvester there? So he just sacrificed a whole bunch of Stalkers for absolutely no Harvesters. He really did very, very, very little damage there. And that was a huge blunder by Strategy. Is this right? Is 0 workers killed? That is actually impressive. I don't know if it's impressive by Tang or just a huge blunder by Strategy, but blinking up here and doing no damage like that and losing half your stalker count is not something you want to do. Right now, more roaches are on the field. You can see that the roaches have 1-0 upgrade, meanwhile 2-2 for these stalkers. So these stalkers are going to be so much better than the roaches, especially since they have blink. Once they engage, that blink micro is just going to come in so handy. This small group of roaches cannot engage this group of stalkers, but these reinforcing roaches will almost double these numbers, and I don't know if Strategy actually knows about this second pack of roaches. That is so many roaches at this point. There's 3 pages full of roaches, 2.5 or 2 1/3, but Tang is actually going to engage here, targeting down these stalkers. One is shotting them. He is going to deny the third base, and that is actually great. Now the Protoss player will have to stay on 2 bases at least for now. Meanwhile, Tang is now on 4 bases. He is going to be able to transfer these drones to the 4th base. Tang is looking great in this game, and I mean, if he does not win this, I will be very surprised, especially after this huge blunder by Strategy, not getting the right position, not doing any damage, almost killing off an extractor. But look at this, no workers killed when he blinked about 20 blink stalkers inside the main base. That is something you don't see every day. So Tang definitely looking good right now, spreading that creep. The creep spread is not as good as it could be, but I mean, Tang has a lot on his mind right now. The APM is currently 96 to 86 for these 2 players. Tang usually has an APM of around 120 average, but since he can relax, I guess his APM is not spamming. But that just goes to prove to you guys that you don't need a crazy high spamming APM to get to Grandmaster. I mean, APM is one of the most overrated things. You can see 96 average and 86 average APM for these 2 players, and they are Grandmasters. You know, some pros actually, was it In Control or was it, I don't remember who it was that had something like 80 APM and was just so good at one point in one tournament. Sorry, I have a very, very bad memory. I just have a small memory leak right now. But huge engagement here. I do think that Tang will actually lose this because that is just way too many blink stalkers, and the upgrade advantage is so strong for Strategy. But you can see that in production, 25 roaches. So by the time that these stalkers actually get inside the base of Tang, he will have 25 more roaches. There it goes. He is almost maxed once again. This queen is going to die to this swell of stalkers. But if Tang engages right now, the shields have not replenished just yet. Moving forward, actually hugging their stalkers, and that is going to be huge. One Immortal going to start doing huge damage. 16 more roaches in production. I don't know if Tang should actually be targeting this Immortal right now. Lynx could be so good at this point, but Tang is now starved on minerals. He is not producing the infestors he needs right now, but that is just so many roaches. He is just going to be able to overwhelm his opponent. The Immortal goes down as well as the rest of the stalkers, and I don't know if Strategy actually let it slip away. Maybe in the start of the game, maybe when he just blinked inside the main base, but Tang takes this game, and you can see once again the relentless brute force of Tang is just so powerful. And now I'm going to go on Skype to see if Tang is there, so maybe we will have some dual casting right after this. So tune in, guys, and don't forget to subscribe if you like these videos.